Alright, so my last video on Apex, I was talking about how I was going to make a video of me like unlocking like Mirage or something like that, but as you can see, like I've already unlocked him. I locked him about level 22 or 3, and in this video I'm not going to be like playing Apex itself, but I'm going to look at like all the legendaries and picking like my favorite one out of like each section. Alright, we might as well start off with Bloodhound. With all of these, like my favourite's probably like the Plague Doctor. And then, well, it's kind of like relevant to the skin, being like the crow thing and all that. And then we've got, for second, Imperial Warrior. For like the banners, probably like the Wild Tracker, but the Raven one is probably like most relevant. And then for the finishers, we've got Clean Kill, and then with Honor. This one's probably my favourite. Onto Gibraltar. My favourite one's probably Dark Side, followed by Bunker Buster. Onto the banners. Probably have to pick like Bricks and Mortars. It's kind of fits with like the pose I've got. Not sure really. And onto finishes, like I've actually got one of the legendaries. Got the Force of Gravity, and then Warcry. Probably Force of Gravity. Onto Lifeline. My favourite one is probably Vital Signs, followed by Peak Performer. But like the banners, like my favourite one's probably like Shooting Star, but like most of the other ones are like more relevant to her. This one's kind of relevant with like the legendary skins. And onto finishes, we've got AJ's Lullaby, and then Dog Shock. Probably this one. Onto Pathfinder. Like, I've got a legendary skin here, but I won't be counting it. My favourite one is probably like Quicksilver, and in second, probably like the Avatar. With banners, I might just change the pose. My favourite one is probably like Anchors Away. And for finishers, we've got High Five. And then Iron Haymaker. My favourite one's probably High Five. Onto Octane. My favourite one's probably Gold Rush. Second, probably like Speed Demon. But I do like how these two are kind of like the Daredevil ones. Favourite one, probably Top Rider. And onto the finishers. Like, he's only got two. We've got Full Throttle. But really I like his first finisher more than the Legendary. Now onto Wraith. My favourite one is probably like the Quarantine one. Second, probably like Void Specialist. Really, I don't really like these ones because like she doesn't have any hair with them. Now onto the banners. Probably my favourite one is like Void Magic. And with the finishers, we've got Existential Crisis, and then Into the Light. Reckon I like this one better. Now for Bandalore. My favourite one is probably like Apex Overdrive. Then second is probably the Enforcer. Onto the banners. Like my favourite one's probably Fire and Fury, but it's not that relevant. So guess I'll have to go with There It Is. With the finishers, like she's only got one Legendary. Like the Reversal of Fortune. I like this better than like the first finisher. Now onto Caustic. My favourite one is probably Divine Right. Second I'm thinking Blackheart. Onto the banners. I reckon this one's probably my favourite, but not sure between this one and this one though. On to the finishers. We've got Last Breath. And then Strike Free. My favourite one's probably like Last Breath. I find with strike 3, since he's just like punching the guy, kind of like lost potential. Maybe could have used one of like the gas tanks to hit the guy, but it's not my game. And finally onto Mirage. Right, so my favourite one is probably like Ghost Machine. Second, you have to go to the Revenger. Onto the banners. My favourite one is probably like Ace Up to Sleep, but I do like Unfair Grounds as well. And with the finishers, like he's only got one legendary. And with this one, I like it better than like the original one. Alright, so that's all the characters. Now onto the guns. The cool thing about the guns is like the number of dots on here. It's like how many different guns are in like each of the sections. Starting with assault rifles and with the flatline. I reckon the lowrider is probably my favourite. Onto the Hemlock. I reckon Lost Queen. Now with the R301. It's a close call between Dynasty Cycle and like the last Spartan. And onto the Havoc. Like this one's only got 2. But with the Season 1 Battle Pass, like the Battle Pass level 100 is like a skin for the Havoc. And like I like that one better than like these 2 ones. Now onto the SMGs. We've got the Alternator. Probably gonna have to go with like the Search and Rescue. Onto the Prowler. Like it's a close call between like the Dark Realm and like the Lightworker. And to the R99. Probably gonna have to go with the Alchemist. Onto light machine guns. With the Devotion. Like I'm probably gonna go with like the Lucky Rabbit. Like I like the ones with like the dice on it. And with the Spitfire. Probably like the Flying Warhawk. I like the shark thing. Onto the sniper rifles. Starting with the longbow. Probably going to have to go with the Nocturnal Predator. The G7 Scout. The Crimson Fire Drake. With the Craver, like it's only got 2. Probably going to go with like the Snowpiercer. And with the triple take. Guess like absolute 0. Onto the shotguns. We've got the Eva 8. I like this one's got, like, with all of them, they're all pretty good. I guess like Fire Breather, then Noble Truth, but like really I like all of them. Onto the Mastiff. I just call it like the Mass Effect. We got Warp Zone and Pest Controller. I would like Pest Controller. Onto the Mozambique. Gonna have to go with like Red Alert. It's kind of like got that like cowboy pistol look to it. And onto the Peacekeeper. With this one, I reckon like the Lone Star. And onto the final section, the pistols. We've got the Re-45. My favourite is like the Pride. Now for the P2020. I reckon like the Death Scepter. And then maybe Green Mamba for second. And for the Wingman. Like my favourite one is probably like Dead Heat. Or like the Thermal Rise. Because it's got like the glowy bits here. Alright, so if you want me to play like Apex, like I'm probably gonna do like a few more of these videos before I like consider playing Apex, because I've worked out like some settings where I can turn like the people's voice into like text and all that, which that might make it better, I don't know. But anyway, this is channel 450. My name's Zach. That's all again. Sun out.